Namaste and welcome to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. It is week 3. You have just ended 2 weeks of practice of yoga with pranayama, meditation, cleaning, and the evening sessions with heartfulness and vayu. So welcome for this third webinar together. I hope this week has been good. I hope that you start feeling some changes in you. If you've been consistent in your practice, after 2 weeks, you should start feeling, a little different in your body, maybe even in your mind. So observe, don't hesitate to take notes, for yourself. And maybe people around already can tell that you've been doing something new. So today the topic is about understanding stress, the science behind stress. And then we will do a practical session with a little bit more of pranayama and, one that we have not practiced together, and some simple but complete yogasana with Suchi as usual. So the flow that you will be practicing every day during this third week. So now I would like to invite Dr. Shri Kumar. He's associate professor with VAYU. It's the Vivekananda Yoga University in the US. So Dr. Shri Kumar, please go ahead and explain to us a little bit about the science of stress.
Namaste, one and all. A very warm welcome. We are all here with a purpose and a desire to enhance our well-being. If that is so, it is really important for us to understand what takes us away from well-being, and that is stress. Today we will look at the concept of stress, and let me share with you a short presentation on this. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be looking at the concept of stress mainly from a medical perspective, the science of stress as we look at it. All of us here have experienced stress at some point or other in our life. If not, maybe through the course of this presentation, you might. So let me begin by asking, what is stress? I will make the question simpler by asking what causes stress and what causes you stress. As we reflect on it, some of us may be experiencing challenges on the health front. Some of us may be going through relationship issues, maybe within family or maybe at workplace, a difficult neighbor, a difficult colleague, work-related stress, financial challenges, or maybe adversities, natural or man-made. If I put all of this into just one word, maybe we could consider it as a demanding situation. It could be either at a physical level or even at an emotional level. And it need not be just external factors. It could also be internal. Internal, like maybe our own hypersensitivity, maybe the high targets that we set out to achieve. Now, the question I invite all of you to really reflect on is stress really the demanding situation? Is it really the demanding situation that is causing us stress? Let us see what some of the stress experts in the medical field have to say. The very word stress has been coined by some of the pioneers in the stress field, like Dr. Selly and Dr. Levy, in in the 1940s. They define stress as a non-specific phylogenetic response pattern. But if you look at the very essence of it, it says, the definition says, stress is the response. We are all faced with a wide variety of triggers in our environment, and how each one of us react maybe to the same situation will be different. How the same person will react at different points in time can also be different, which directly means stress has a huge bearing on our response to that demanding situation. This is a very significant point for us to understand, assimilate, and apply in our day-to-day life, which can bring a paradigm shift. Tomorrow, when I am faced with a stressful situation, I could really examine how can I respond differently. Maybe you're going for a morning walk, and then suddenly you see a huge dog barking at you. It creates a stress trigger and invokes responses within you. Now, what we are going to look at is, what is the stress response? What is our understanding from the medical field on what happens to us when we are in a state of stress? After that, I will look at the question on how does this happen? Those are the two questions we will be pondering in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So when you look at responses, stressors are nothing but the triggers from our environment that is causing the stress. Our responses in the age-old days, when man used to face threat, even threat to his or her life, it was the basic fight or flee response. But today, it is much more complex in terms of a lot of psychological responses. You may have a heightened sense of anger, fear, tension, anxiety, depression, even suppressed emotions, suffocation, discomfort, some of which may not be even recognizable. So that is a huge array of responses that can happen. Not only that, when our desires are not met, when there is a huge gap between the demand placed on us and the ability to meet that demand, the distance between the needs and opportunities, between our dreams and the reality, it all creates an imbalance within oneself and the environment. So stress is also essentially the imbalance. Now let's look at what does happen in stress. Some of the physiological responses that happen within us when we have stress is the sugar level shoots up, and you need more energy in the system because either you have to face, fight, or flee from the demanding situation. So you need more of oxygen, which means the bronchodilation happens. There is a very high increased breathing rate. And where does this reaction happen to produce energy? Where the sugar and oxygen combine to produce energy at each and every cell in the body. So how does that happen? Through our blood. It reaches each and every cell of the body. So which means the blood pressure is shooting up, the heart, the pumping mechanism has to work much more, heart rate increases, perspiration, saliva, all of that really increases. Most of what I have called out here, as all this happened in just a fraction of a second. These are all what we call as autonomic nervous system imbalance, or sudden increase in all these parameters that we discussed. Not only at that level, even at the muscular level, you feel tensed, the jaws get clenched, you are ready for action, the perception gets narrowed. So all this is what is happening to us when we are in the state of stress as our response. Now let's also look at how this is your entire body on stress. Like you can see, it affects almost each and every part of the body. The brain releases a stress hormone called as cortisol, which is a very significant stress hormone. It affects your digestive system, it affects fertility, it affects your weight line, whatnot. Each and every system of the body is getting affected due to stress. So when we have seen that this is what is happening, how does this happen is the next question. What the experts say is there are really higher centers in the brain that are getting triggered when we are facing that stress, especially our emotional cortex. The hypothalamus situated at the base of the brain, it actually sends electrical signals through the sympathetic nerves, which is making all these changes, what we see about increased contraction of the heart, constriction of the blood vessels or the arterioles, and all of that. So when we look at the human system, primarily two systems are involved in this stress response. They are the nervous system and the endocrine system. So when you look at the nervous system, there are two types. I'm sitting here with you. I have a free will. If I wish, I can just simply move my hand like this. It is part of the voluntary nervous system. At my volition, at my will, I can do that. But there are a lot of mechanisms that are happening in the body which is not directly in our control. It is on an automatic mode, like our heart rate, breathing rate, secretion of the digestive juices, the bile, all of that. Thank God we are not monitoring it. So the autonomous nervous system, again, primarily is of two modes. It is called technically sympathetic or parasympathetic. Just forgetting the technical terms, the essence of it is sympathetic system is what helps in the arousal. It is what is the stimulating component. Parasympathetic is the relaxing component, which brings about a soothing effect. So all the things that we described about dilating the pupil, increasing of the heartbeat, how the glucose rate shoots up, all of that is governed by the sympathetic system. This is the major system that is involved in the stress response. We also have the endocrine system. Endocrine system primarily deals with all the secretion of the hormones. Technically, you can remember it as HPA, hypothesis pituitary adrenal axis. That's how we call it, where the hypothalamus is really the trigger. And at the base of the spine, it controls the pituitary gland, which deals with all the major different hormone secretions, affecting the thyroid gland, affecting the adrenaline gland. In fact, it produces specific hormones like adrenaline, noradrenaline, which is to either face or flee from the situation. It prepares the body mind for action. So endocrine system, you can in a very simple way remember, the nervous system is more like an electrical system, whereas endocrine system is more like a chemical system dealing with the hormones. And today we have identified specifically what are some of these stress hormones. Like I said, cortisol is a major stress hormone. High levels of cortisol shows high levels of stress. Similarly, prolactin growth hormone, thyroxine, which is produced from the thyroid, DHEA. DHEA is another significant hormone which is really connected with the aging. So all this has a direct correlation with respect to the stress experienced. So now, having said that stress has all these effects, on one side, on the other side, we should also understand that stress is a mandatory reflex for survival. Because like we said in the morning walk, when the huge dog is pouncing on you, you have to take that action, right? If that reflex is not there, it's a question of survival. You have to, the basic survival responses, which is coded in us, either to fight or feel from the situation. So it is necessary. So then the question is stress good or bad? You can think a little deeper on that, because we need stress as well as stress has also got the negative effects. So the point is, when does stress become bad? All the sympathetic arousal is very much needed to face that demanding situation. It is called acute stress. That is perfectly okay. You need it as a mandatory reflex. But the problem is, the challenge is, after that, if you don't allow the system to regain its normalcy back to the basal rate, that is when the real challenge is and stress becomes bad. So it is essentially the imbalance between the sympathetic as well as the parasympathetic. So in our daily life, there is a large number of demanding situations in modern day life. So the stimulation aspect is rising one after the other. Simple things like even being caught up in a traffic jam, right? When you are driving every day to work, being caught up in pretty bad traffic itself. And then you reach office, you are a few minutes late, you have to get into a firefighting call. You have all those difficult contexts that happen sequentially back to back. So when does the system come back to the relaxing mode? So when this imbalance is there, technically it's called the homeostasis is disturbed. The balance is disturbed. So even if you forget everything that we have discussed so far, can remember stress is the imbalance. It is also the response that I have. Now, when this imbalance repeatedly, if this is happening without the system coming back to normalcy, one can as well imagine what will be the case. The imbalance becomes the new norm for the body. So when there is the BP is always high, consistently high, then it leads to hypertension. This is what we call as chronic stress. So when the sugar levels are consistently high for a very long period of time, then we become diabetic. When the muscles are stiffened, tightened for very long, it is back pain, neck pain, inflammation in joints leading to arthritis and all of that. So if imbalance is what is really for a prolonged time creating the stress, when we reflect in our own day-to-day life in the modern world, the question I invite you to reflect based on the understanding that stress is also the response. Question is, who has the remote? Do we want to hand over our remote to another person who at the press of it, we become red, green, elevated, depressed, all of that? There will be all kind of stimulus in the environment, whether you are a self-realized person or not. And then we are sometimes wired to react in a particular way. So if we can really observe a little closer, we have the freedom to change our response pattern. We can reflect. Can I look at the situation differently? For example, maybe as we are going through this session, you may be thinking, when is the stress talk ending? How can we get into the practice? Maybe another way to look at it is the same situation, it's how we think and how we respond. Okay, I have decided to invest my time in the next 10 minutes. Let me be really open and to see what is coming, right? So that I make the best use of it, of my time. So there could be different ways in which we could think and respond to the same situation. And that is the freedom, which is what is beautifully explained in this book, Man's Search for Meaning. It is a strong read that I will recommend to each one of you. It's by Viktor Frankl. He is survived in the Nazi concentration camp and has went through a hell of an experience. But in spite of all of that, he had hope, he had positivity. He has come back and shared his insights with the world in this book. What essentially he says is, between the stimulus and response, there is a space, there is a gap. And in that space, is our freedom. Freedom to choose our response so that we can better handle that demanding situation. And in that response lies our growth and freedom. So while we have seen the stress response, the sympathetic arousal, what we have understood is also the relaxation response. The parasympathetic activity needs to be enhanced. It is nothing but a state of deep rest that helps us restore the balance. It regulates the immune system. It creates all kind of release of the positive chemicals and relaxes the muscles and all the good things that happen through the relaxation response. So maybe it's a good idea to cultivate that relaxation response consciously. And a great way to do that is meditation. We have seen how stress affects the body. Now look at this, contrast it with how meditation changes your body. Brain releases today what we call as happy chemicals, which is like serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, all of those positive chemicals that enhance into a good mood, into a very positive state of mind. All those things happen with regular practice. Blood pressure drops, digestive system, all the major body systems work more cohesively and smoothly. So if this is so, practicing meditation is a wonderful idea, and I congratulate each one of you for having joined this and making best use of it. Recommendation is, at least there is a sense saying, it says you should sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day. If you are too busy, then you should sit for an hour. Yes, you probably need it more. And the benefits of meditation, I may not elucidate. All of you know that it works at multiple levels, as we have seen. So practice is really the way, and we have very focused heartfulness guided meditation, and when we practice daily, we should be able to see the effects coming, and as we go deeper, it will be more and more pronounced. So in summary, what we have been discussing so far is stress is my response. The moment I say that, it gives you immense freedom to choose my response. And then we are cognizant of all the various stressors that happen in our environment. And essentially, stress is nothing but the imbalance. We have looked at what happens in stress, all the physiological changes that we looked at, and how does this happen? Two systems, autonomous nervous system and endocrine system, mostly as an electrical and chemical activity. Within the autonomous system, we have seen both the stimulating as well as the relaxing component. Hence, there is a greater need to enhance our relaxation response. Practice of meditation is a beautiful way, and the recommended reading. Even if you cannot read, I would just like to re-emphasize this point of between the stimulus and your reaction, you have the freedom. Exercise that freedom towards greater and greater growth. The freedom to do, not do, or to do differently. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srikumar. And so let's try to answer this question. Who has the remote? Who has the remote? Well, let's try to find the remote. Maybe it's on your mat. Please come on your mat and be ready with Suchi. So we will see in next week, how yoga helps with specifics. But today I want you to experience how it helps. You have already been practicing for 15 days. So you have already an awareness of your body. And to, understand how your body works. Yoga is not a physical exercise. It actually teaches you to become more and more aware from inside. Okay, so today we will do some practice with Suchi, and we will also work on the breath, pranayama. Because as we just saw, there are some things we are not controlling, like our respiratory rate, it's affected by stress, but we can get control over it. And if we practice, regularly, then we become better at having control. So are you ready? Yes, sitting cross-legged on your mat in a comfortable position. Remember, you can keep a small cushion under your hip bones if you prefer, just so that your back is not too tense. Close your eyes very gently. And with this intention of being completely aware of the session, what's happening inside me, regaining that control over what happens in my body when I move or when I sit still, leaving all the worries of the day outside the room for the next 25 minutes together. We'll practice asana, pranayama, and meditation. Become aware of your body sitting on the mat. Back is straight, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed, and a gentle smile on your face. Enjoy this time. This is your session, your me time. Become aware of your breath, normal breath. Gently bring your hands in Namaskar Mudra in front of the heart. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale, chin to chest. And gently open your eyes. And let's be ready with our first new pranayama that we call alternate nostril breathing. And you will see that it is completely linked to the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system that we have seen today briefly with Dr. Shri Kumar. So place your left hand on your knee, and with your right hand, bring it up, and you're going to fold the index finger and the middle finger. Take your time. It's not a very, very usual position. So only the index finger and the middle finger at bend. And I'm going to use my thumb and my ring finger to close alternatively the right and the left nostril. Okay, so be ready. You put your right thumb on the right nostril. Close it gently and inhale through the left. Long, deep inhalation. Very good. Now close your left nostril with the ring finger and open the thumb on the other side. Exhale through the right. Long, deep exhale. Don't move your fingers. Inhale through the right. Now close the right with the thumb, open the ring finger, exhale through left. Long, deep exhale. Very good. This is one round. Let's continue. Inhale through the left, not moving the fingers. Now close with the ring finger, open the right, exhale through right. Don't move the fingers. Inhale through right. Close right and exhale left. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Don't move the fingers. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. One last round. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Keep your eyes closed, both hands on your knees. Allow the breath to become normal. And observe the effect of the alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shuddhi. It's also called Anulom Vilom. Observe the effect on yourself, your body, your mind, how you feel. And gently, you can open your eyes. So we will stand on our mat, stay in the middle of the mat, and start with the tree pose. We also call it Rikshasana. So transfer the weight of your body to your left leg and be ready to lift the right leg and to place your foot on the inside of your left thigh. So you can place it either very high like Suchi, or if you don't feel comfortable, keep it below the knee, not on the knee, below the knee, or even lower if you have problem of balance. You can very much keep it here on the floor. It will have the same effect. If you're comfortable and flexible enough, bring it as high as possible with the heel close to the perineum. Very good. Place your hands on your hips and find your balance here. For that, you need to fix a point in front of you. Back is very straight, but your shoulders are relaxed. And if you feel uncomfortable, you can also take, support from the wall, either with a hand or with your back. Just don't do anything that would be dangerous for yourself. Now, if you feel comfortable, place both your hands in Namaskar Mudra in front of your heart. And with an inhalation, take both your hands to the ceiling. Bring your hands together above your head to the ceiling. Keep your gaze fixed on the point in front of you and a gentle smile on your face. You're a tree with deep roots on the ground. Your trunk is strong, but your hands can sway in the wind. Just enjoy feeling like a tree. And slowly, as you exhale, bring your hands down in the heart center and then to your hips and take your foot down. Rikshasana, the tree pose. Let's do it on the other side. So shake your legs if you need. And let's do it on the other side. So keep your weight on your right leg and lift your left leg. The knee should be open to the side. It's very good for the hips. And either you keep it down below the knee or up to the perineum. Okay, feel the posture that is comfortable for you. Just don't keep it on the knee itself to put too much pressure on this articulation. Hands on your hips. Find your balance. Find a gaze in front. Bring both your hands in front of the heart, and with an inhalation, take both your hands up to the ceiling. Inhale, hands up, and try to balance. An excellent posture that tonifies all, your back, your legs, but also works on the balance on your brain, your left and right brain. Exhale, take your hands to the heart center. Hands on your hips, and slowly take your foot down. Very good. That was Rikshasana. Now we will do a posture that you have done this week, Trikonasana, the triangle posture. So keep your feet, apart, maybe 3 feet apart. It really depends on your height. Feel comfortable. Place both your feet first parallel to each other, facing in front, hands on your hips. Now open your right foot to the right so that it is 90 degrees. Very good. Inhale, bring both your arms at shoulder level. And as you exhale, try to reach towards the wall and slowly bend towards the right side. And bend only as much as you can. You do not need to go and reach the floor. It's important that you do not bend forward. So try to keep your alignment of the spine, of the shoulders above your leg. And if you can, just go more down, slowly, slowly. Your hand is facing towards the ceiling and you're looking at the hand towards the ceiling. Very good. Breathe here. Feel the nice stretch. Inhale and come back. Both hands, arms parallel to the floor, and exhale, arms down. You can bring both your feet parallel to each other. And let's do the same on the other side. Open the left foot to the left wall. Make sure you keep your hips, in front. That means facing the screen. Now inhale, take your arms at shoulder level. As you exhale, you're going to try to reach the wall to the side and slowly bend in Trikonasana, the triangle pose. Your right hand is reaching the ceiling and you're looking up. Again, go only as much as you can. Make sure that your upper shoulder is open, your torso is open so that you feel the opening of the chest in this posture. Inhale, come back to the starting posture, hands parallel to the floor, and exhale, takes your hands down, and you can bring your feet together. Very good. You can shake your legs. Now we're going to do a new posture, Utkatasana, the chair pose. So Suchi will show you, the profile, but you can very much stay facing the screen. It's more comfortable. So if you're a beginner, you can keep your feet slightly apart. It is much more comfortable for balance. If you've done this several times, keep your feet together. Okay. Inhale and take your hands up to the ceiling above your head. Bring your hands together, or you can keep them slightly apart as you feel comfortable. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your knees and pretend that you're sitting on an imaginary chair. Try to sit as much as you can, but make sure that your back stays straight and your knees are not crossing your toes. So Tuchi is a very active yoga practitioner, so you might not get that far. It's perfectly fine. It's just very good for balance and for strength of especially the legs, but also you can see it engages the shoulders, the back, and the arms. Very good for balance. Inhale, come up. Stretch up to the ceiling and exhale. Take your hands down. Now slowly sit on your mat facing your screen and bring both your soles together. In Purna Titalyasana, which is also a posture we have done together. So bring your heels as close as possible to the perineum, interlock your fingers, place them below your feet and start flapping your wings. An excellent posture, flap your knees to release the tension that is accumulated in the hips, in the lower part of our abdomen, but also, the vibration goes up in the spine. There's a lot of usually stiffness in the hips. So it's a very nice posture, very simple posture to learn to relax. Very good. You can stop flapping the knees. We're going to do Bhadrasana, Bhadrasana, and there are different variations. The first one, you hold your feet and try to open your feet like a book. Open the soles of your feet towards the ceiling like a book, okay? Pretend that you're reading the soles of your feet. What it does is it actually takes your hips more open and your knees closer to the mat. Very good. Now place your hands again, interlock your fingers and place your hands under your feet. You can keep your feet slightly away like this. Inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to bend forward from the hips. As much as you can only, don't go too far. And once you're here, you can round your back and bring your forehead to your feet. Please do only as much as you can. Make sure that you breathe in the posture. If you can breathe and you can smile, then you're not straining yourself. It is perfect. Inhale and come up. Come back to the seated posture. And you're going to extend the right foot in front. So Suchi is going to show you from the side, but here you can stay in this posture and extend only the right foot in front. The other one stays folded for Janu Shirshasana. Very good. Make sure that your extended leg is straight and that your foot is pointing towards the ceiling. Now inhale, take both your hands to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to bend over your extended leg. So you have to twist a little bit to bend. And you reach only as much as you can. If that's all you can do, you can just bring your hands towards your knee or towards your shin. Or if you can go further, you can completely stretch yourself on your leg and bring your forehead to your knee. Okay, only as much as you can. Feel the nice stretch in the leg and in the back. A nice way to relax. Make sure you breathe in this posture so that you're not straining yourself. Inhale, take both your hands up, stretch forward to take it up to the ceiling. And exhale, hands down. Now we change, we extend the left leg and fold the right leg. Opposite leg, it depends where you started. Yes. Now let's do it again. Inhale, take both your hands up. And as you exhale, bend forward from the hips. Try to keep your back straight first and bend over your leg. Okay. And when that's all you can reach, you can just place your hands down. Don't stay with your hand in the air, not to strain. Just place them on the mat, on your foot, on your shin, on your knee, doesn't matter. And relax here. Inhale and exhale, relax. Inhale, take both your hands up. And exhale, hands down. Now come on your stomach on the mat, lie down on your stomach. And we will do the Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. So for that, you need to bring your feet together and place your hands under your shoulders. Your forehead is on the mat. Your elbows are close to your body. Make sure you engage your legs. Inhale and lift your forehead, shoulders, and torso off the mat, only as much as you can. Your stomach should stay on the floor. Your elbows are still bent and they are against your body. And you breathe here. Very good. Exhale, come down, bring the forehead to the mat and slide your hands under your thighs. Palms facing down. If it's uncomfortable, you can place them, towards your thighs, but the best position is to place your palms towards the mat. Your chin now is on the mat. We're going to do Shalabhasana with only alternate leg elevation. So inhale and take your right leg up, only as much as you can. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale down. Very good. So bring both your hands under your shoulders again. Palms on the mat. Push on your mat and go to sit on your heels, stretching your arms in front. So you can sit between your heels, okay, with both your big toes touching each other and your hands are in front. If you're comfortable, you should have your forehead on the mat. This is Shashankasana, the rabbit pose. If you're not comfortable, you can also place both your hands, both your fists under your forehead like Suchi is showing. And breathe here. Relax. And it is time for the final relaxation. So lie down on your back. Make sure that you're comfortable. If you are in a place where it's cold, you may want to cover yourself with a cover. This is perfectly fine. Your feet are apart. Hands are slightly away from the body. Palms turn towards the ceiling. Make sure that nothing is bothering you. Your t-shirt, your glasses you can remove. Maybe your hair you need to adjust so that you completely relax for the next minutes in relaxation. Starting from the feet, feel the energy of Mother Earth entering your feet and ankles, relaxing them. The energy moves up the legs and knees. Feel them relaxed. Feel the energy relaxing your thigh muscles. Your legs are completely relaxed. Now deeply relax your hips, your lower back, and feel the energy moving up your spine, relaxing your entire spine on the mat. Feel your body sinking into the mat. Now the energy of Mother Earth enters your abdomen and relax the entire abdomen. Moving up the chest, relaxing the chest. And the shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your arms, elbows, forearms, hands and fingers. And bring your attention to your neck, relaxing each of your neck muscles. The muscles of your face, the jaw, lips, cheeks, eyelids, forehead, temple, the back of the ears, the top of the head till the back of your head. You're now completely relaxed on the floor. With a minimum movement, bring your feet together. Take your hands above your head and stretch with a deep inhalation. Keep your eyes closed. Bend your right leg and turn towards the left side. Now keeping your eyes closed and pushing on your hands, come to a seated cross-legged posture. And if you need, you can keep a cushion under your seat or lean towards the wall. Keep your eyes closed. And let's end this session with a beautiful, deep relaxation that offers meditation. Bringing your attention to the heart with a thought that there is a source of light in your heart and that it is attracting yourself inwards. And let yourself completely relax there until you hear that's all. That's all. Keeping your eyes closed, make a mental note of how you feel after this session. Bring your hands in Namaskar Mudra in front of the heart. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale, chin to chest. And slowly, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Thank you, Suchi, for the demonstration. I hope you have enjoyed this session. I hope that you feel relaxed now through this beautiful, complete yoga practice where you have done pranayama, asana, and relaxation meditation. This is one of the ways to experience relaxation, to let go of stress, and to also learn to master it in some situations. So this week, you are going to practice this flow that is slightly more complete than the ones that we have done in week 1 and week 2, with more postures. And take it easy, do it at your own pace, make sure that you never strain yourself. That's the most important thing. 2 things are very important so that you feel the effect, especially against stress and for well-being, is that you always keep a smile on your face and you're able to breathe in all the postures. Then you know that you are actually working within your limits. Let the repetition, let the practice, let the gravity and your body work together. And you will see that if you keep that smile, that joy, actually you are going to go deeper and faster into your postures. So the idea is not to get the great posture, it will come by practice, but that's by default. The idea is really to be in charge of the remote control. So I thank you all for being with us today. And I wish you a very beautiful week. Remember to do the 3 practices. They are together. Morning, asana, relaxation, meditation. Evening, Brahmari, and the cleaning practice. And at night, prepare your night. Your day starts with a good night. Make sure you take those extra 10 minutes to listen to, this guided practice and to the relaxation before you go to bed. Thank you, Dr. Srikumar. Thank you, Suchi. Thank you, the entire team behind this session. Wish you all a wonderful week and see you next Sunday. Namaste.